We usually get hired by the aquaculture industry to go in and pick up morts, and then in the same time we do hole checks, look at the nets, see the growth, monitor it.
What are morts?
Morts are dead fish. Mortality.
They just fall at the bottom of the net?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you go down and you look at the bottom of the net and make sure that there's no morts left in the bottom. You go down about twice a week and clean the bottom of the pens out. And at the same time, they require us to do hole checks, make sure there's no holes in the nets. Generally, you do that on a regular basis on a mort dive. You'll do hole checks anyways while you're in there. And then they hire us also to come in and just do that. And that would take probably 2.5 hours to do a site. You go in and you'd have several divers, and they go in and have their own pens, and you swim around and take a look and repair anything that may be down there or report. And there's fairly stringent, monitoring system. They have to report everything to DFO, and we have to do that also. So we repair if there is a hole. If there isn't, then you continue on, and sometimes they ask for a video, like we're doing right here, and we give that to the farm or to DFO if there's they want to take a look at a net or something like that. On occasion, you're going to find debris, lots of stuff like that in nets. We make sure all the nets are all clean and free of debris, and properly anchored is the big key. As you can see behind us here, this is like a mock-up of a smaller version of what we have out in the farms, and it's quite similar, except for the outside pred net is also anchored. And we just go down and check it all. There's cameras, there's divers, there's everybody's monitoring the fish at all times. You find a hole in any of the nets or pred nets, it's Mainstream Canada's policy is to report it immediately, and it's documented, and I believe it's put into their books and sent to DFO. There's no hiding it or anything. It's basically reported immediately.
Mainstream Canada is ISO certified, and through our audits, has your company ever been audited as part of that?
Yes, they have. We've been audited. A lot of the similar questions that are asked of the farm staff are asked of us too, so that we know what we're doing. Mainstream Canada hands us over their ISO pamphlets and literature, and we have to know it all, so that when they ask us questions about it, that we know what we're doing too to comply with Mainstream Canada. So, we do.
Part of our ISO is everything that we say we do, we have to prove. So they have documentation there that if you look on every dive record, anything that they see is reported. It says there, have you encountered any reportable holes? So if they even think there might be something that would be reportable, they've hit yes. If they ask the causes, so they'll say, okay, on the form it says, what could cause that hole? They'll look, investigate. Well, maybe it's, sometimes it's like he says, a debris log will come by, and that'll cause some chafing. Maybe it's the billets weren't clean enough, and that might cause some potential. Maybe it's a one strand, and then they'll go and report that. It gives us the feedback to try and find different parameters of why things are happening and try and prevent that in the future. So it could be an externals hung a certain way. You can see they got these right here. If it rubs, well, now you've got a potential to fix that. So we'll address that, and maybe we have to rig it differently so it never happens again. And they're the first response. So we also have emergency procedures on site. According to like every cage, at cage 5 of every Mainstream site, you'll find an escape response kit. In the event they find something that's immediate and quick, as he says, we don't have those kind of holes. Like you look in 2010, we have 0 reported losses because we're that proactive. Hopefully, it stays that way, and that's our goal. 0 escape is the Mainstream policy, right? So we do everything in our power to try and find that and correct that.